live from the House of LeMay Makeup and Dressing Room.
Here comes Amber, stop what you're doing. Here comes Amber, she's just doing what she can. Here comes Amber, cue the spotlight. Here comes Amber with 2 drinks in her hand. The matriarch of fashion, from sequins to her glasses, you can't look away. Ask her, does she do it? There's really nothing to it. She's got that feminine gaze. If you have a party, or if you're feeling naughty, call up the House of LeMay. Here comes your favorite gal. Here comes your queen. Here comes the talk of the town. It's Amber Live tonight. The music starts playing. It's time for cabareting on Amber Live tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, please turn off all cell phones and get ready for your host, Amber LeMay.
Ooh, it's our Halloween show, Amber Live number 32. Yes, that's pretty scary, isn't it? Oh, we're going to have some fun tonight. So thank you for being a part of it. Yeah, we're at the end of October already, and Halloween's next weekend. So we're celebrating tonight with some great stories and tales. And, but before you do anything else, let's get this over with, all right? So I want you to like or share or subscribe. Do one of those for us right now, would you? Let's get other people in here and watching the show, because you know what else they're going to do. 60 Minutes is over, so they don't want to watch that. So they might as well watching something else scary, Amber Live. So thank you so much for coming here tonight. Kathleen, you know it, girl. All right. So, hey, Russell, let's get this show on the road. So, come on in. Russell. You know, I know you love Halloween.
It's one of my favorite holidays, if not my favorite holiday.
I think it is. But, oh, my gosh, are we doing this? Didn't we just do this like 24 hours ago?
I think we did. It was, I feel like I've spent 48 hours with Amber.
Ooh, and I'm not charging you anymore.
No, it's more like 48 hours, the TV show, where there's a scandal.
Well, last night we had our Don't Blow It vote special of music, comedy, and democracy. And I tell you, it was an hour and a half of what? Words can't describe it.
It was amazing. It really was. It was such fun to watch so much talent at work and all to get people out to vote. So,
and that's it. And we worked together. We collaborated with Higher Ground, and they brought us some great musicians, and we had some comedians, and we also had some education in there as well about voting. And Lieutenant Governor and Democratic Governor candidate for governor David Zuckerman was on. So it was just a whole mixture of a lot of fun. And so,
Madge and Biscuit from TikTok.
And the church mother. Oh, it was great. And Russell, you did a great job of coordinating it and getting it on the air. That was just really.
It killed me to do it.
Yeah, but it felt good today, didn't it?
It did.
Okay. So we did have a contest with that show that whoever went on the Higher Ground Instagram and shared and liked and all those things, and randomly we drew a prize for Faith Long, and she wins. What did she win, Russell?
I believe there's a gift certificate from Lenny's Shoes and also a prize package from Magic Man.
Yes. So, Faith, if you're watching, we'll get in touch with you tomorrow and tell you how you can get those prizes. But thank you so much for doing that.
To you.
Yes. So let's move into our caption this photo today this week. What is it, Russell?
It's a funny one. Here we go. So this is our picture for the week. If you have a great caption for it, type it into the comments. No ageist comments, please, because you know how Amber feels about that. But type it into the comments and put down that it's a caption for this photo. We would love to hear what you have to say. And at the end of the show, Jack will come on and review the funniest comments that we get. So
yes.
Feel free to join in.
We've got some funny viewers. People like watching the show so they can comment, and it's a lot of fun. So feel free to comment. We love to see those. All right. Let's see. We did the caption. What else do we have to talk about, Russell?
Well, there's a couple of things. First off, I did have a picture I almost pulled out for caption this, and I wanted to show it to you.
Oh my gosh. That was a zombie walk here in Burlington, I think maybe 11 years ago.
Yeah. The House of LeMay was joining right in there.
Yes. Triptych Creations, a makeup troupe, was responsible for that great day in Burlington. I miss events like that.
Oh, yeah. They'll come back. Just wear your masks.
Yes.
In the meantime, I do want to talk about our booster club known as the LeMay Bustiers. And we have a couple new members this week. Bill Bacher, a great friend, and Serena Magnan O'Connell, also a great friend, have joined the LeMay Bustier Club. And we would love to have you join as well. You don't have to be undead. If you would like to support Amber Live, and we really, really appreciate it, and it does help keep the show going and growing, you can send your support to the Venmo address there at RJD Pro. And it is very important to keep this show going, and we truly appreciate it. There is no question about it. You guys in the Bustier Club are the reason we're here. And if you donate more than $25, we will send you one of these great Amber Live stickers, so you can put it wherever you would like and show your support for Amber Live. And as always, we want to point out that we have a super bustier, Rial Masson, and we really appreciate how much he has helped keep this show going. And it's helped us do 32 shows now, and also last night's Don't Blow It vote event, which was really important to getting out the vote this year. So again, the Venmo's there. It's at RJD Pro. We'll bring it up later in the show. And truly, it does help us. It does keep us going, and we appreciate it.
Yes, thank you so much. It really means a lot. That not only that you're watching, but that you like what you're watching too, because, I think it's going to be a long winter, folks. So this might be the highlight of your week. So let's keep it going. And Russell, I know that Halloween is such a great holiday for you. So you have some memories to share, don't you?
My undead memories from the years. I'm going to start off way back in 2005. We're going to do a little slideshow of Russell's Halloweens. And this was my trip to Transylvania over Halloween, which is in Romania, if you don't know. And this is a picture from an island, and it's a monastery on the island where Vlad the Impaler is buried. And to get out there, we actually had to crawl into these old wooden rowboats, and the monks rowed us out to the island to give us a tour. Another stop on that trip was at a restaurant that was vampire themed, and it's a restaurant where in Bram Stoker's book, Jonathan Harker is rumored to have gone. And you can see they gave me a piece of garlic to hang around my neck to keep the vampires away. We also toured Panari Castle, which is where Vlad the Impaler lived, and you can see there were, you can see some of the steps. It's 1,500 steps up the mountain to get to the ruins of the castle where he and his wife lived. And this next picture shows you the side of the castle, and you can see why it was a fabulous place for his wife when she decided to throw herself off the castle wall to her death down the side of the mountain. We did a stop in Sigisara, which is where he was born. And then on Halloween night, we were in the Carpathian Mountains at the Hotel Castle Dracula having a all-night Halloween party, which the local press came to because they don't do Halloween like Americans do. So it's a big event there for them to come and see us. And there were almost 70 people, and the party started at about 6 o'clock at night, and I got to bed at about 6 in the morning. And there's a close-up of me in my costume. And then the next night on that trip, we stopped at a cemetery to see how they celebrate Halloween, or actually their version of Day of the Dead, and they go in and honor their dead with flowers and a lot of candles. Another thing that I do at Halloween that's a favorite is my haunted house, which is in Cornwall and Hudson, New York, and it's called the Corn Estate. And we've been doing it for 11 years. That's a picture of the entrance. Here's one of the scenes we did one time of a skeleton burying people up to their necks. This is a wedding scene from one year with my friend Edward. We had a spinning skull in a pentagram. Here's some of the skulls that I decorated one time. And for a witch's scene, there's a room of floating masks, and one of them was a person in a black outfit who would pop out. And then finally, my other Halloween surprise is I have been a costume model over the years. Pictures of me in the costumes that I modeled for Ruby's here in New York. And then I'm not sure this next picture is going to work, but I hope it is, because there it is. It's Amber's favorite. That was my costume, which Amber loves to call Clowny, from when I lived in Burlington, Vermont years ago. So
I hosted a party that Halloween, and Clowny showed up, and everyone just stood back. They didn't know who it was or what it was, and it was pretty frightening. We didn't care for Clowny.
I had some people on Church Street running away from me as well. So.
By the way, I want to remind people that if they missed last night's show, you can go to amberlive.tv and catch it as well. So that's we want to make sure you do that.
Yes. It is right there on Amber Live along with this show at the moment. And if you don't catch it there, you can always go to our YouTube channel and catch it at any time you would like.
Yes, that and any past shows of Amber Live. All right, Russell, thank you so much. We'll come back and talk to you later on.
Yes, have fun. All
right. Well, it's been a long, crazy week. And you know what time it is? It's time. It's time for Amber's headlines. Yes, not headlines like in news, not up there. All right. The Pope approves of same-sex civil unions. Pope Francis finally approves of same-sex civil unions 5 years after we legalized marriage equality. In other Vatican news, Pope Francis now has an America Online account and just found out the Catholic Church has been molesting children. Shocker. Oh, the murder hornets have landed in the United States. The horrifyingly large Asian hornets, commonly called murder hornets, but are sure to be referred to as the China hornet soon, are known for decapitating honeybees and existing in my waking nightmares. And this weekend, a nest was found in Washington State. Funny, after the COVID response, I figured the murder hornet's nest was more likely in Washington, D.C. Go figure. In other horrifying news, the president's personal lawyer, former mayor and retired bat boy Rudy Giuliani, is featured in the new Borat movie, where he is caught on camera in a hotel room with a woman pretending to be a 15-year-old reporter. Happens all the time. In the clip, the former New York mayor lays down on the bed, puts his hand down his pants for a while. According to Giuliani, he was just tucking in his shirt. I remember when I was a teenager, I was always tucking in my shirt. My mom said it was normal to want to tuck your shirt. Just do it in private. I'm not sure how she'd react if she knew why I was tucking now. And finally, the White House today had its annual Halloween bash, despite it being only a few weeks since everyone caught the COVID in the Rose Garden. What parent would let their kids go to the Trump White House for a Halloween party anyway? Aside from the pandemic, we all know Trump will keep the candy for himself. He's probably dressing up as Jeffrey Epstein's ghost and will just pretend to see every kid's costume as sexy. Well, and that's Yes, so let's get on with more spookiness. So our next guest is an author, and she's got an interesting story to tell about a special place she's visited. So please welcome Hildy Silverman. Hi, Hildy.
Hi, Amber. How are you?
I'm doing very, very well. So tell me, why are you on my Halloween show?
Well, I guess because I'm a horror writer. I write a lot of scary stuff. I'm also a past president of the Garden State Horror Writers and a big Halloween fan. I'm very, very jealous of your producer's trip to Romania. That looks like a blast.
Oh,
I'll do that someday.
He'll go with you back. He'll go back with you. I'm sure he will. Yes. So Hildy, someone told me you visited a very scary place.
Yes, indeed. I visited the Stanley Hotel for a horror writers retreat a few years ago. And the Stanley is the hotel that Stephen King was stuck at in a snowstorm and was his inspiration for The Shining.
Oh my goodness. So how was it?
It was very cool. It's a beautiful place. It's in Estes Park, which I hope is doing better because I understand there's some fires around there right now, which is scary. But it's beautiful. We were there over Halloween. They had a hell of a Halloween party, as you can imagine. So it was a blast.
And where is this hotel?
It's in Estes Park, Colorado.
Colorado.
Yeah.
So anything weird happened while you were there?
So I have to admit there were a couple of weird things. We had, as guests, we had some ghost hunters come and take us on a ghost hunt all night, just us little writers. And so the one night before, we had a couple of our big guests who were there, Josh Mallerman and the sadly late, I call him Dallas, but it was Jack Ketchum. And they were reading in this underground tunnel. They took us to this underground tunnel at the hotel, and they read a couple of their short stories. And Josh wrote Bird Box. He had not written that quite yet, but he read us one of his scary stories. Jack read one of his. Well, it was very spooky. So the next day, the ghost hunters took us in this tunnel, and they had a recording device. They said, okay, let's see if we can get the ghosts to speak to us, because the Stanley is considered the most haunted hotel in the United States. So I know. So a group of us stood around, and they said, okay, we're putting on the recorder, start asking the ghosts questions. Let's see if someone answers. So, we're each asking things. What happened to you? How did you die? Those sorts of things. Nothing's happening. Then one person says, did you like the stories last night? And a voice suddenly says, oh, yeah. And we all froze because everybody heard the voice from across the room from themselves, but none of us said it. So the ghost hunter said, okay, let's see what's going on. He rewound his tape, plays it back. You hear all of our voices asking our questions. Then you hear the woman ask, did you enjoy the stories? And after that is silence. The voice did not record. So that was very creepy.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
You said that was the scariest hotel in all of the United States?
It's reputed to be the most haunted hotel.
Oh, haunted.
Yes, that is me now. So this picture was taken outside room 217, which is supposed to be one of the most haunted rooms. I was just standing there. A friend of mine took the picture, and I don't know how well people can see it, but that little light there, if you zoom in, you can see it looks like there's a face that appeared in the door. Ooh. And we don't know what that's from. There was no light shining in. There was no one there. But and we didn't see it with our own eyes, but when the photo was taken, that face just appeared in the door. So,
ooh, how cool.
Right? It's a fun time. It's a good time.
Oh, how very, very cool. So I understand you have a story to share with us.
I do. I have a short story from a book called Dark Territories. This was produced by the Garden State Horror Writers. And it's one of my earlier stories. It's not too long. It's called Picky.
Picky.
Picky, like picky. All right. 3 years old, and Sarah still wouldn't eat. She'd nibble, she'd pick, but actually consume? Not once since she'd been weaned. Food was her arch enemy, mealtimes a battleground. It was her parents' only source of aggravation with their otherwise model child. Time for me to go back to work. Mommy put down a spoonful of peas and picked up the Courier News. A few weeks later, she had a much less stressful job than mommying at a company nearby. Sarah's parents put their own ad in the Courier News and interviewed potential nannies. One named Mala told them, "I raised 5 of my own. I'll get the princess over her fussing." Then Mala flashed her teeth at Sarah, who giggled. Mommy and Daddy were sold, and it became Nanny Mala's job to make choo-choos out of unwanted spoonfuls of peas. After they left for work, Sarah played with her bunny, Bunny, while Mala watched people fight over baby daddies on TV. When Sarah got bored, she tugged on Mala's skirt. Mala put her in her room. There, Sarah played with her toy piano and didn't come out again like a good girl or else. Mala let Sarah out at lunchtime. Sarah climbed into her booster seat and told Mala an important story about Bunny's garden of magical planted things. Eating them made Bunny super strong. Mala put Sarah's plate in front of her. Its 3 compartments were filled with yogurt, cut-up hot dog, and chunks of yellow cheese. Just looking at them made Sarah tired. "Hurry up." Mala stuck a fork in a hot dog slice and squished Sarah's fist around it. "It's almost nap time." "No, thank you, please." Sarah wanted to show off her good manners. She wanted Mala to start liking her. Mala smacked Sarah's hand. Sarah's eyes filled with wet. So did her mouth. "I said eat. Now," said Mala. She must have used her manners really wrong. Sarah didn't dare say anything else. Mala slapped her hand again. Twice. The back turned red like Snow White's cheeks. "I don't care what kind of crap your mama puts up with. When I say eat, you eat." Sarah's stomach rumbled. She listened to it, but, as usual, had no idea what it wanted. Mala tapped her foot. Sarah picked up a piece of hot dog and licked it. It tasted like floor. Her cheeks stung before she even saw Mala's hand fly. "Eat it, you spoiled brat!" A slap matched each word. When the words stopped, the slaps continued. Sarah made her eyes follow Mala's hand. As soon as it got close, Sarah turned her head and bit down on Mala's finger. Sweet and salty flowed into Sarah's mouth. For the first time since she'd stopped sucking on Mommy's boobies, Sarah tasted. Mala screamed. She pushed Sarah's head with her other hand and yelled bad words until her finger snapped off between Sarah's teeth. Sarah's tummy roared and woke up her taste buds. She tried to chew slowly to make it last, but couldn't. She tongued the soft and chomped the crunchy and slurped the juicy. Sweet Jesus! Mala fell down and hugged her hand. She squealed and rolled around like a piggy in the mud. Sarah giggled. She didn't know that Mala could be so funny. Sarah slid out of her booster seat. She scrunched down next to Mala's face. It had turned a weird gray color, but she still smelled so very yummy. Can I have some more? Sarah remembered her manners. Please, thank you. But she was too hungry to wait for an answer. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So the Green Mountain, or not Green Mountain, the Garden State Horror Writers, is that
That was the group I did this anthology for. That story was in. The book that you were just showing is where my most current story appears. It's called Badass Moms. And I also have a story in Dystopian States of America. Those are the two anthologies with my latest stories. So if anyone wants to check them out, they're available through Amazon.com, online, and at bookstores as well.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Hildy. We'll bring you back for the quiz later on.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you. We've got more coming up. But first, a word from one of our sponsors. Hey, Amber LeMay here, and I see you sitting on your couch with that Cheeto stained t-shirt on. You need some new t-shirts, and have I got a deal for you. Go on over to amberlive.tv and check out my merchandise. One, there's a t-shirt that says, "Don't blow it, vote." Has my picture on it, of course. And then there's another one with me saying, "Surviving 2020 with 2 drinks in her hand." Hey, how are you surviving? Anyway, go over there and you can order t-shirts, mugs, hoodies, sweatshirts, tote bags, and even beach towels. Oh, it's great designs and all for you at amberlive.tv. Go and order yours right now. Let's get back to that great show.
Even the undead look great with Amber Live products. And remember, we have 3 different designs in our store: the Surviving 2020, the Amber Live logo, and just in time for the upcoming scary election, Don't Blow It, Vote. And you can get those on mugs, on t-shirts, on tote bags, hoodies, and even on beach towels if you think you might squeeze in a vacation during this pandemic, but you never know.
Yes, thank you very much. I've got mine right here. Ooh, a little spooky stuff going on there.
And Amber, we have a few customer photos tonight.
Oh, good.
Yes. Our good friend Jack is still running around Canada showing off his Amber Live gear. Jack is finishing up his tour through the lovely Canadian woods. I'm not quite sure where it is, but it is in Red Deer, Canada, or Red Deer, which is in Alberta. But I don't know which park that is that he's in. And then he headed off and was walking back to his car, which he hopped into after putting on a lovely mask just for safety. You never know what kind of people you might run into.
Oh, my.
And then Jack decided he needed a nap. So he headed home, laid down in his Amber Live t-shirt and took a nap. And
I thought that was Rudy Giuliani. Oh.
No, his hands aren't down his pants. I can see both of them there.
Okay.
And then finally, I think we have one more picture of Jack. Oh, no, it's not Jack. It's our friend Johnny in his natural habitat. With a drink.
He got 2 drinks in his hand. All right.
Exactly. And of course, we do have one more customer photo that came in this week. You just never know where you're going to find this guy. Speaking of skeletons in his closet.
And it really is. Black is slimming. Oh, my goodness. So that's an extra thing to buy the black shirts. Yes.
He's just fading away there, isn't he?
Yes. Thanks to Amber.
Right. I'll let you get back to the show.
Oh, yes. Oh, my. Our next guest, I've got a memento from our next guest right there from her ghost walks that she hosts here in Brewington, Vermont, and also in Montpelier. And she's been a guest on Amber Live before, but we wanted her back for Halloween. Please welcome Thea Lewis. Hi, Thea.
Hey, it's so wonderful to be here.
Oh, my goodness. You must be so bummed this time of year and you're not able to do what you do.
It's really been tough. And I realized just the other day, because we usually present Rocky Horror Picture Show every year. And this would have been our 10th year.
Oh,
and we've been planning.
Hold on a second. I just lost sound.
Ooh.
Ooh, maybe it was the ghost.
You never know. Whenever I'm in doubt, I always attribute it to a ghost because it's very likely. It's absolutely likely.
Or some spirits.
Some spirits.
So Thea, yes, normally you have your ghost tours, you do the Rocky Horror. So what have you been doing to occupy yourself?
Well, I'm working on a novel right now. It's a haunted novel, and it's a novel that starts its story back in the 1960s and works its way through several decades. So that's been keeping me occupied. That and my great big cuddly dog Phantom. He's 95 pounds of love, and COVID or no COVID, he still needs a walk 3 times a day.
So you get back to your book. So if it's not about being haunted, what's it about?
It's not. It's about a young woman in Louisiana back in the 1960s who finds herself in a family way. And of course, back in the mid-60s, an unmarried woman, especially a teenage woman, pregnant, was not a thing that people wanted to talk about. She was from the South, so that would naturally give anybody just a case of the vapors. And it did her mother, who packed her off to the closest institution for unwed mothers that she could. And this young girl, who's just full of, sort of spit and vinegar, plans to give her baby up for adoption. But when she finds that he is born with a pretty profound disability, she decides that she's going to keep him and raise him herself. The rest of the book is about their adventures, and sometimes it's the mom, Carrie's story, and sometimes it's the son, Argent's story. So we take it from there.
Oh my God, how good. I mean, I just saw where someone said they bought you one of your books from your last visit. You were on our show.
Well, bless them.
Very about the Lakeview Cemetery book. Yes. Oh, and there's another one of your books, Wicked Vermont. Oh my. And so hauntings.
And I have to mention, because some people will ask, Lakeview Cemetery of Burlington, Vermont is not a haunted book, but is filled with so many great Burlington stories. The research was so much fun. I mean, anytime I have a chance to discover what was probably the most prominent lady of the evening in the city of Burlington in the late 1800s and write about her, I'm happy to do that. But so it's not haunted, but my sort of bread and butter is haunted things. And I thought tonight I could give you kind of an abbreviated haunted tour, you and your guests, if you'd like.
Please, come on, do it.
Well, Amber, you've been on the tour. That's right. You've got your button. You're ready to go. You've been on the tour, so you know that I always talk about the fact, we'll start way up on the hill, that the University of Vermont is one of the most haunted colleges in all of New England, possibly all of the United States. 14 presumed haunts, and none tickle my fancy more than the story of Henry at the, way up on the hill. If you look at Converse Hall, it's been wonderfully renovated, but it's still decently spooky. And the story of Henry goes like this. Back in the early 1900s, there was a medical student named Henry, and he was attending University of Vermont, a quiet guy. Father was a doctor, grandfather was a doctor, and of course, people expected that young Henry would follow in their footsteps. Well, as it happened, there was an exam that Henry had just about torn himself apart over. He'd studied and studied, but he really didn't feel that medicine was what he was intended for. He hated to disappoint his family. So, so sad about what his lot might be, he took the exam and he felt like he did miserably. He just felt like a fish out of water studying medicine. So after the exam, he went back to Converse Hall, and the story goes that he was so bereft, he went up into the highest reaches of the building, into the attic, and actually took his life. Now, people were so sad because even though Henry had set himself apart, he was a nice enough young man, and people were so upset with this sacrifice, and they were even more upset when the examination grades came out and it was discovered that Henry had aced his exam. Now, since Henry's death, people have talked about very peculiar things happening at Converse Hall. And my favorite story is the story of a young woman who was living there back in the 1980s. Now, this young woman went through a period of time, her second semester, having a terrible, terrible cold. She missed quite a few days of school, and she got used to being in her little apartment at Converse Hall and watching her daytime programs. And it was so cold outside, she kind of hated to leave. So when she got better, she thought she would maybe stay, now that she felt well, tucked inside under a blanket, watching her soaps for another day. Well, She went back into her room after she poured herself some orange juice, and she began to get all snuggled up when all of a sudden she heard a tremendous ruckus out in the other room. Well, she went out to see what could be going on, and every piece of furniture in that room was stacked up on top of a little table she had there in kind of a funny pyramid. She went into her room and she got dressed, and she slung her backpack over her shoulder, and she left. So we're going to go down the hill now. We're going to go to Mansfield Avenue and the fire station that we know as Station 3. You're familiar?
Oh, yes.
Oh, Station 3 is a wonderful old fire station, and it's got one of those great hose towers. You know, the firefighters used to come back and have to hang those toses, those hang-out toses, their toses, yes. They used to have to hang their hoses up in the top of those towers and let them dangle down so they would dry. Well, this is a decently old fire station, and the stories go that the team of horses that used to carry the firefighters to a fire would often, when they would get the alarm to go to a fire, already be dressed and ready to go. On one such occasion, the firefighters heard the bell ring, got downstairs. Not only were the horses ready to go, they were beside themselves waiting to get out the door. And when they flung open the door to let the horses free out into the street, they saw that the building that was ablaze was right across the road. Now, the best story about Station 3 is a story that I got from a firefighter in Burlington named Pete Walsh. He's a great guy, and all of Burlington's firefighters have such wonderful stories. I have to credit Pete and a firefighter who's since passed away, David Gale, and also Jim Woodman, who we call Woody, with a lot of the tales that I've told on my tours. So what Pete told me was there is a particular bed at Station 3 where they like to let the rookies sleep, because that's the bed, if you lie in it, you're probably going to wake up about 3 o'clock in the morning feeling like someone very cold, someone you can't see, is trying to get into bed with you.
It's been a long pandemic, Thea. Where's that bed?
Oh, gosh. Now, if we have time, I'll go on and take you down into the middle of town. Okay.
Yes.
So, you know, no haunt could be more. People ask me so much of the time, what's your favorite haunt, Thea? And I have so many, but a place that's near and dear to my heart, especially after this Lakeview Cemetery book, is a building that was built by John J. Flynn, the magnificent Flynn Theater, which you, Amber, and I have both spent lots of time in. Now, the Flynn is such a great building. Unfortunately, back in the 1970s, it had kind of fallen into disrepair, and a wonderful group, Lyric Theater Company, and a group of historic preservationists, well, they resurrected it and brought it back to its current glory. But even though it's a wonderful place to sit and enjoy some theater or enjoy some live music, I love it because of its ghosts, particularly a ghost who's made so many appearances that we simply call him by one name, the Flynn Ghost. Now, one of my favorite stories about the Flynn Ghost is the story of a couple of gentlemen who worked with the Lyric Theater Company. They were volunteers. And back in the 1990s, they were working, helping Lyric move in a show. It was a Saturday morning, and these guys were raring to go, but things kept interrupting them as they got to their main task of setting up a scenery grid. I don't know what happened, but somehow, all day long, things dragged on. There were interruptions. They were called to other tasks until finally, all the other volunteers had gone home. And here are these two gentlemen working way up high, 50 feet above the Flynn stage. It was late, about midnight, and one of the guys heard somebody call his name. Naturally, he looked over to his friend, the only other person in the building by that time, and he said, "What do you want?" His friend looked back at him and said, "What do you want?" He said, "Well, you called my name is all." His friend said, "Dude, I didn't call your name. I don't know what you got going on over there, but over here, working. Come on, I'm exhausted. Don't you want to go home?" Well, these two guys were in their regular lives, two no-nonsense IBM engineers. And that guy knew that if he didn't just go ahead and, put a shush on it, it would be nothing but nyet, nyet, nyet from his friend for the rest of the night. So quietly, he went back to work. But about 5 minutes later, wouldn't you know it, it happened again. He very clearly heard someone call out his name. Only this time, there was a difference. Because this time, When he looked over at his friend, he could see his friend had heard it too. And they both swiveled their heads at the same time to the left-hand brick wall beyond them, and they couldn't believe what they saw. There, they said, sitting, except that he was floating, 50 feet above the Flynn stage, was a man wearing gray workers' coveralls and dusty boots. They said he looked so casual, as though he were sitting on a park bench. And he stared at the gentleman, and they stared completely goggle-eyed back at him. And then he tipped an imaginary hat, and he was gone. Off like a prom dress. Wow.
So any idea who this person was?
Well, what we think, because of the historical records we have been able to find, is that John J. Flynn was feeling a little bit pressured back in 1930. I don't know if you've seen the historical photos, Amber, but there were banners hung over the streets saying, Flynn Theater, yes, Flynn Theater opening soon. And people that I've talked with who know about construction say that even though John J. Flynn had particular crews working on the theater, as time got close, the foreman of those crews might have said, you know, Mr. Flynn, we can get this finished just a little bit faster. If we call in this guy, he's really good, he's very dependable. And we think that it might have been an undocumented person working on the crew who fell from a great height and landed on the stage. And so the Free Press has no record of this gentleman. It seems to me to make sense. My tour guide's intuition tells me that it's something that Mr. Flynn would really not have wanted to make public. So whenever I go into the Flynn Theater and I'm seated, I look up and I look around and I just kind of give a little wink to that ghost.
Oh my, how exciting. Thank you. Thank you so much, Thea, for your stories. And I can't wait to read your books and see you some more often. So thank you very much, Thea. We'll be back for the quiz.
Thank you.
All right. Oh, and you know, knowing those places makes it even scarier. Here's another word from our sponsor.
Amber, first,
yes.
I do want to remind people of our caption this.
Oh, yes.
Here's the picture again. If you would like to send a caption into Jack, the funniest ones will be put on at the end. Just label it as a caption and send it in. That's a great one.
Yeah.
Now this.
Hello again. Guess who? I'm here to tell. No. I'm here to ask. No. I'm here to beg you to subscribe to Amber Live's YouTube channel. You're probably watching the show on YouTube right now, and all you have to do is click on the subscribe button. If you're watching on other social media, you can find us at youtube.com/AmberLive. Just click on subscribe and make this drag queen smile. Please. 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 Thank you so much. It does mean a lot. I really appreciate that. Michael, come over and find out sometime. My door is always open to you. Okay. All right. So now it's time for my top 5 of the week. You know, it's Halloween time, so I'm doing Halloween themed. It is the top 5 ways to celebrate Halloween during a pandemic. Number 5, don't wear a mask. Just don't wear a mask and cough a lot. It'll be the scariest costume anyone has ever seen. Have you been out in public and heard someone cough? People just jump. Number 4, do not play bobbing for apples now. This is not the year to put your face in a bucket of mouthwater and try to eat fruit. Maybe next year. Number 3, turn off the lights and get the shit scared out of you by watching the confirmation of Amy Coney Barrett to the Supreme Court. Oh, God, we're all fucked. Number 2, don't trick or treat. Just order a bag of candy from Amazon and eat it all. That's my intentions. And the number 1 way to celebrate Halloween during the pandemic, you know what? 2020 is just scary enough. There's no way to celebrate it. Just remember to vote. Don't blow it. Vote. All right? Yeah. Just go out there and vote. All right. We have one more special Halloween guest. Russell, show us that video.
on Hassenpfeffer Incorporated.
We're gonna do it. Give us any chance, we'll take it. Read us any rule, we'll break it. We're gonna make our dreams come true.
Well, now, really, when we go back then to falling in love and say it's crazy, falling. You see, we don't say rising into love.
Press any key to continue. Any key. There's no fucking any key on it.
Oh, hi! Historic Salem Incorporated is whipping up something really spooky and fun for all you ghouls and goblins. So log on to HalloweenInSalem.org for ticket information. You're gonna have fun with this one. So long.
Okay, so let's welcome Borah! Oh, I should have you on every week. You make me look good.
Oh, that's a compliment.
So, Borah, tell us, you're in Salem, Massachusetts.
Yes?
And what do you do there in Salem, Massachusetts?
Oh, well, I just roam around the streets scaring up people, and I do fun little videos. I busk on the streets of Salem, collect money when people take pictures, and I donate a portion of that to children's charities. And I do all sorts of stuff. I also officiate weddings, wedding vow renewals, and baby gender reveals.
I'm a justice of the peace, so I do a lot of that, but I haven't thought about the baby gender reveals.
Oh.
We'll have to talk about that.
Well, it's a lot of fun. I don't want to give it all away, but I drop certain things in a cauldron that's hanging between 3 limbs, and I have this little spell that I chant, and then the baby gender is revealed. But I said I don't want to give it away, so if anybody wants to have a baby gender reveal, they need to go to Salem's Black Hat Society.org and schedule an appointment. Video.
Just by talking to you now, I can tell you don't give anything away.
You gotta charge for this, baby.
So what's going on in Salem? It must be the situation must be a little down in Salem this time of year.
Well, it is quieter. We usually have over 500,000 guests in the month of October. It is way down because, of course, of COVID. And so our mayor's doing a really good job of keeping the visitors and guests in Salem safe by honing down on guidelines and coming up with restrictions. So we're having fun the best we can. All of the Halloween, the witch balls and the parades have been canceled. And but we can still get out on the street and busk and in the park and make people laugh and give them a miserable time.
Well, very good. Now, you said you've seen less tourists, but you still see a lot of people there?
There is a ton of people here. And
are they wearing masks?
Everybody's being compliant for the most part, and they are socially distancing. So everything is great. And we also have ambassadors that are spread out through the city that encourage people to put on a mask. They hand out masks if they don't have masks. So everyone is being terrific.
Well, I'm sure you've had no problem with people being socially distanced from you. I think they wouldn't want to come close.
And no, they know if they come near me, they're going to end up in a cauldron.
So, what's your favorite part about Halloween?
My favorite part about Halloween, there's so much. I think when I'm standing on Essex Street, when I'm busking, all the visitors that come and tell me where they're from. And I also enjoy my younger generations or anybody that's autistic, because we have it's just great to interact as a witch with people that are autistic, because they just brighten up, they start talking, and their parents see them come out of their shell, or that is what makes this so much fun. Touching people's lives and making people happy.
So, is this what you do full time?
Actually, no. It's turning into a full-time job. But when I take all of this off, I am actually a registered respiratory therapist at Brigham and Women's Hospital. So I manage the life support machines that these patients have been on.
So you scare the breath out of them and then give it back to them.
Yes.
Russell, show that picture again of the orange outfit. I like that. That is a nice outfit. Did you make that?
No, I have a couple of designers that I use, and that actually is a costume that was designed by a guy here in Boston, and that costume alone weighs about 12 pounds, and it's about 4 pieces.
Oh my goodness!
No lie.
Yep, showbiz ain't easy, is it?
No, it's not.
So what's the purple smoke coming out of the pumpkin there?
That's a smoke bomb.
And does it mean anything?
No, it's just a picture. Speaking of purple, blue, your witch hat, Amber, it needs some Viagra.
Oh, well, maybe if I had some more stimulating guests, I wouldn't need it. You and I had trouble together.
We're good. A lot of trouble.
So what do you miss most about what's not happening this time of year?
Well, I've actually not been out on the street a lot. I've been out twice. And that's because we can't cause a lot of crowds. And when I'm out, I have rows of 3 and 4 people, literally 30, 40 people that stop me, and I just can't move. So we get in trouble if we cause crowds. So I don't go out. I miss going out and having a lot of fun with people. So that's one thing I miss is going out.
Oh, cool. So is there anything else you'd like to share with us, Borah?
Well, Borah, I wrote my first book. Let's see. It's called Borah's Book of Pitiful Poems and Pictures. And it's 31 poems and 31 pictures.
Did you illustrate it yourself?
I know a fellow called Zombie Dog 43 from Florida drew the pictures.
Was that his birth name or their birth name?
Oh no, that's just his author name.
Okay.
He loves Halloween too, so Zombie, and I guess he barks like a dog, and he's 43 years old. I don't know, Amber. Kids these days, they come up with anything. So there you go.
Do you want to read us a short poem?
Oh, yes, I have a very short one. Let me find it. This one is called Tomb, Sweet Tomb. And in the 18th and 19th centuries, when people were buried, they had a technique where they would tie a string and a ring to a finger of the deceased. And when they buried them, that string would go through the ground, and then it would be tied to a bell above ground. And if they weren't dead, they would ring the bell and they would dig them up and save them. So this is called Tomb, Sweet Tomb, based on that. Cold, quiet, and damp, smelly, tight and cracked, spiders, worms, and lots of germs, no room to move a squirm. Oh, my finger has a ring tied to a string. I pull the bell, scream and yell, and all I hear is silence. Thank goodness, up there, there's too much violence. I guess I'm doomed. I'll make myself home, 'cause now this is Tomb, Sweet Tomb.
Well, thank you very much, Borah. Beautiful drawings. And where can we get that book?
That book is available at Amazon. It's also available at Salem's blackhatsociety.org right there on your screen. They are actually on back order. We've sold over 300, and they've been out for 2 weeks now. They're on back order, and most of my orders are coming through .org because I can sign them there. And and Amazon, they aren't signed. They're $15.99 on Amazon, $20 on the .org. And I have 6 stores that are going to carry the book. We're waiting for the orders to come in to stock them up. And also, what's exciting is Salem has the oldest museum in the United States called the Peabody Essex Museum, and their shop will be carrying this stupid book too.
Oh, Borah. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, that's great. All right, so now it's time for the quiz. So we'll bring you and Thea and Hildy back on screen, and this is a special Halloween quiz. It's for Halloween and to honor the late Eddie Van Halen. Okay, it's all about M&Ms because people like M&Ms for Halloween candy, and Eddie had a special fascination with M&Ms as well. So the first question is, what year were M&Ms introduced? Was it 1939, 1941, or 1944? Ooh, they've been around for a while, longer than me. All right. So what do we have there? Show me something. We have a 1, we have a 2, and we have a 3. Oh my goodness. Well, it is 1941 they first came out. Yes. So I don't know what you were doing back then, but I wasn't around. All right. So why do they call them M&Ms? Who are they? Is it Mickey Mouse and Marvin the Martian? Is it General Marshall and Field Marshal Bernard Montgomery? Or is it William F.R. Murrie and Forrest Mars? Is it 1, 2, or 3? We have a 3, we have a 3, and we have a 3. Ah, you caught the Mars, didn't you? Yes, that's who it was. The Murrie and Mars. Yes. All right. So, in that question number 3, what was the winning M&M flavor in the 2019 Flavor Vote campaign? I didn't even know there was a Flavor Vote campaign, but English Toffee Peanut, Screaming Hot Jalapeno, or Vanilla Cupcake. Ooh, I think all those would be fun. So we have 1, 2, and 3. We have a 3, we have a 1, we have a 1. It was the English Toffee Peanut. I haven't tried those. I've tried it. Vanilla Cupcake sounds good too. Question number 4. Okay, famously, I'm saying famously, which color M&M was banned by Van Halen in their Backstage Rider? Which used to be my nickname, Backstage Rider. Number 1, brown. Number 2, green. Or number 3, red. Which M&M did they say, we don't want any of those? And we have a 3, we have a 2, we have a 1. Well, you guys, I like how you do that. It was the brown ones. Yes, they didn't like the brown ones. That was in their rider, and it was because it was a test. If a venue that couldn't remove brown M&Ms, after all, might not be attentive enough to the security needs or the exact sound specifications the band needed to perform. Yeah, it was a test. If a venue failed to remove all the brown M&Ms from the band's stash, Van Halen would abruptly cancel and often trash the place for good measure. All right, final question about M&Ms. M&Ms originally were sold in what? How could you buy them? In metal tins, in cardboard tubes, or leather pouches? Ooh. 1, 2, or 3. Metal tins, cardboard tubes, or leather pouches? It is. Oh, you're all saying the metal tins? Nope, it was cardboard tubes. The cardboard tubes originally came in, made them easy to pour and ship, and it added to their durability. They were a hit in World War II soldiers, many who carried them around in their rations and remained loyal after the war was over. Not until 1948 did Mars come out with a dark brown bags that we use today. We love those, don't we? All right. Well, I want to thank you so much for adding to our Halloween hilarity and haunting tonight. Thank you so much, Borah. Good luck down there in Salem. That's scary. Hildy, ooh, that picture was scary. Yes, it was. Thea, thank you so much. It's so good to see you, and I look forward to taking more of your tours. You know, let's talk about what we can do in Burlington. All right. Whoa. How much fun was that? If you loved Halloween, you loved tonight's show. But wait, do we still have one more guest? Who could it be? Is it Rocco? Oh,
Hey,
Rocco. Rocco is dead?
Rocco's not here. This is Rocco the chicken.
Okay.
I
Chicken.
don't know how I sound. It's echoing in this thing.
Tell me about what's going on there, Rocco.
Nothing. I ate a whole box of candy from Amazon, and I'm feeling a little sick right now. So,
I do
I
want
hope I don't lay an egg.
I do want to
I get the shell out of here. I cracked me up. That was some excellent humor. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I just wanted to tell people that your video last night during the Don't Blow It Vote show was hilarious.
Thank
and you need to go on the Rocco Facebook page or go back and watch the show because it was great.
Oh, for sure and shit.
So, Rocco, I'm curious, why do you have that headgear?
Because you know what? Chickens can be scary. Have you ever seen a chicken really cross a road and ask them why? Let me tell you, that answer will scare the shit out of you.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Why would you cross the road?
Because that's where the KFC is.
and you're a cannibal? Or you're running away?
You know, the chickens got their own way of life. We got a code. That's why nobody knows why we cross the road. It's all part of the code.
The code. The code. So is this your Halloween getup? Will you be parading around Long Island next week in this?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to hit all those chicken hutches things. You know, I'm going to go to the supermarket. I'm going to poke holes in the saran wrap so all the chickens will be free. Those zombie chickens. You people buying them and eating them. What the hell? This is madness. Madness, I'm telling you. Go eat a duck.
Go ahead, Rocco.
I said go eat a duck. Those things are crazy anyway.
All right. Anything else you want to add to tonight?
No, I was going to read. What the hell? I can't even hear myself. This thing is freaking crazy. I was going to read The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, but then I saw how long it is, and I said, oh, hell no. That's not happening. But I do want to say, I thought of the best idea for a commercial. For Rolling Rock beer. Have some adults trick-or-treating. One of them's dressed up with a sheet full of holes. Everyone says, oh, I got a Reese's peanut butter cup. I got a chocolate bar. Some guy picks out a Rolling Rock beer and says, I got a rock. Boom! I'm telling you, classic. That's
I've always liked Rolling Rock.
Don't mess with it, people.
What's the number on Rolling Rock bottles?
32? I don't know.
I forget there's a special number there, but I like Rolling Rock cold bottles. That's great. That's a good idea, Rocco.
All right,
Rocco.
What?
Rocco.
I can't hear you.
You could be the spokes chicken for Rolling Rock beer. Rocco.
You're damn right. I'm telling you, it's a winner. All right, this chicken thing is stupid. All right? Stupid.
Oh, someone comes back and says Rolling Rock number 33. I didn't say that, but someone did. Thank you very much.
No, it's because you said it.
All right. Well, thank you, Rocco. Have a good Halloween.
You too. Happy Halloween, everybody, and shit.
And shit. Yes. Oh, my goodness. All right. Hey, let's bring in Jack. Oh, hello, Jack.
Hey, Amber. Good
All
show
right.
tonight.
Thank you. Are you in the Halloween mood, or are you just nestling in for the night?
No, I'm just nestling in for the night, just in the suit of one of my favorite Renaissance painters, the guy named Raphael. He was trained by a rat on how to paint, and he hung out with his friends Leonardo, Michelangelo, and Vermeer.
Okay. So, what did you think about tonight's show? You got any good comments?
Oh yeah, I thought it was great. I got some good comments, and wanted to say that Larry even bought a copy of Thea's Lakeview Cemetery book.
Yes, thank you very
Make
much.
sure to get that up, and just say that there was some love. Really liked Hildy's knives during the quiz. That was a lot of fun.
She's a cut up.
She is, and also that Clowny is way scarier than Amber.
Yes.
Oh, and Alex Taylor really liked your comment about the resemblance between Rudy Giuliani and Bat Boy, and he blew beer right out of his nose. But we did also get some good comments for the caption this portion of the evening. Russell, want to throw that back up there? So this was the photo of the week. Joshua Beaupre said, "Captain, let's go trick or treating." We can see what a happy group this is. Michael Schultz says, "Halloween is such a drag." And what else we got? Matt Vians wants to know what's in that bunny's pants, and I can't say I don't blame him, because it looks like something is happening down there. And finally, just like every Halloween ends with someone saying, "I'm tired. I want to go home now."
Well, thank you very much for taking the time and the energy and the effort to type in those comments. Anything else you want to bring up, Jack?
Yeah, Larry noticed that my facial hair fell off. I decided it was time to change things up on my chin a little bit.
All right.
Start fresh.
So last week I put out the call for any single I don't think I clarified single. Any females who might be interested in talking to you. Any luck in that area?
Unfortunately, no, but I got a sympathy letter from Rocco, who sent me a pumpkin with a hole in the back of it, or the front of it. I'm really not sure what part of the pumpkin it was, but...
Oh, thank you, Rocco.
Yeah, one of his classic pumpkins with a hole in it. Signature Rocco.
Hey, Russell, come on in.
Hey, Amber.
Oh, my goodness. A show last night, a show tonight. Whew.
I'm out of focus. I take no responsibility for Rocco, but we have had a great weekend, and he's given us a lot of laughs.
Yes, he has. So anything else you want to add, Russell?
Well, I do want to remind people about the Bustier Club. We certainly could use your help. Again, the Venmo is at RJD Pro, and we truly, truly appreciate all the support you can give us. It keeps the show going and growing. And for $25 of support or more, we'll send you the Amber Live sticker. Just be sure to send us your address.
All right. Yes. All right. Well, thank you very much. Jack's got his mug there. Thank you very much.
I've got mine.
All right. And I have mine as well. Yes.
All right. Social.
All right. Social, Johnny. Yes, we'll go with social. Thank you, guys. Thank you for another great week.
Thank
Russell,
you.
what do we have for next week? Do we know yet?
Oh, my goodness. Yes, next week we have some interesting things going on. I believe we are going to have our first guest from Australia, if it works out. And he is a very funny gentleman on TikTok who sings some great parody songs. And then we also, I believe, are going to have the Happy Hour guys, who are going to come on and tell us about a project they are doing during COVID to help raise money to support the arts. So that's an important one. And they're a lot of fun, too. If you like beer, it'll be a great show.
All right. That sounds fun. Well, thank you very much, Russell. Take a couple days off.
No, there's no time.
All right. Oh, my goodness. I do want to thank Russell and Jack and everyone who helps us with this show, because it's fun for us to do, but we can't do it alone. So thank you so much. Have a great week, everyone. We'll see you next week, and be careful out there. And don't forget to vote. Ooh, bye-bye.
That show wasn't so spooky. Yeah, I've seen scarier things at Walmart.